for a swim, approximately 100 yards offshore. He did not return from that swim. The neighbors here invited the boaters to their docks, and emergency services were called. We arrived initially on scene with an ambulance, very quickly after with dive assets. Performed a quick search of the approximate area as witnesses described. Approximately 1 hour after the party was last seen, he was recovered, and he was transported to Morton Hospital in the Lakeville Fire Department ambulance.
I realize you probably can't speak on his exact condition, but I mean, someone who's in the water for an hour, the prognosis usually isn't very good.
We're doing everything we can for him right now, transporting him to the hospital in an advanced life support ambulance. He's with several paramedics from the fire department.
Do you know if he was showing any signs of life when he was pulled out?
When he was removed from the water, the CPR was begun right away on the boat, and he was brought to shore with cardiopulmonary resuscitation in progress.
Did the folks live on the lake, or did they just put in somewhere? Or?
I don't know.
Okay. And is there boats, sir, in the vicinity? Is it still at the end of this dock?
I'm not sure.
Okay. But he was with how many friends, do you think?
We believe 2 companions.
2 companions, and they out boating, like decent evening, at least it was, and decided to go for a swim. Did everyone go in the water, and the 2 guys got back, but he didn't
That's the story as we understand it.
Okay. Do you think there are any mitigating factors at all, alcohol, anything like that? Or?
We have no knowledge of anything like that, and it would not be ours to speculate.
And talk about trying to recover somebody based on just the last eyewitness accounts. I mean, your divers, the depth of the water, and I mean, the fact that you were able to find them at all within an hour seems to be pretty quick.
It was. That was a very good recovery by everyone who was on scene. We were assisted by the towns of Freetown and Middleborough. There were also assets that were en route from the town of Halifax. We had state police standing by for the weather to pass with their air assets. The environmental police are on scene now also. They're going to be conducting an investigation, as I understand.
Grid search?
Grid searches usually take a little longer to set up, so we did what was called a bullseye search, where you drop a diver into the water at a point, and he goes out in a bullseye pattern. The bullseye pattern goes out in a circular pattern from a certain point, and it was during one of those grid searches, one of those bullseye searches rather, that the party was located.
And I'm sorry, the depth, you think?
The pond is not very deep. I would guess the depth somewhere between 12 and 14 feet. A little deeper, Chief? Shallower than that? Okay.
And do you know if his friends were able to tell you whether or not he knew how to swim? Or?
We did not receive any information regarding his abilities to swim.
Okay, do you know if he's a local guy? Or?
I do not know.
Okay.
What is the name of the body of water?
This is Long Pond.
Long Pond.
Long Pond,
And
yes.
it's officially in Lakeville?
This is in Lakeville, yes. There is a small portion of Long Pond that's in Freetown, but we are in Lakeville.
Okay.
Do you know where the boat was launched from? Did it come out?
I do not know.
And about how many divers did you have out there?
We had about 10 divers. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We had 10 divers across the 3 towns. Also, the Taunton dive team was called, but when they arrived on scene, we had already recovered the party.
Chief, in terms of an update, if there's a decision made at the hospital on this victim, would that come out through a press release through your department, or how would we obtain that information?
Probably no information about the patient's condition will come out through our department.
Okay.
From our end, we've transported him to the hospital. I would say that any further information would probably come from the investigation conducted by the Environmental Police Department.
Very good.
Do you know
Thanks
was the victim wearing a life jacket or anybody else?
When he was removed from the water, he was not wearing a life jacket.
Swimming clothes or more?
He was in swimming clothes. No. Well, he didn't have a shirt on. He had shorts.
Sweatshirt and shorts.
Sweatshirt and shorts. Sweatshirt?
And black sweatshirt.
Black sweatshirt.
And who was it? 3 males?
No, there was 2 males and a female.
Okay, and one of the males is the one we're talking about who's transported.